This WAFLW live stream is brought to you by Optus, proud partner of the WAFL and WAFLW. The West Coast Eagles, supporting WA female footballers to follow their dreams. Kia, proud partner of the WAFLW. This is Kia. Simply Energy, supporting WA Footy's talent pathway.
Welcome to New Choice Homes Park, the home of the Sharks. You're with Clint Degebrot and Front Row Screens, broadcasting today's match from East Fremantle and Claremont through the WAFC, the WAFL Optus program. Of course, sitting next to me is someone who will need no introduction when we return back from the break. We'll start to have a chat to her. Fantastic player, has played at a couple of different AFLW clubs and, of course, has represented one of the clubs out here today. These two teams today, East Fremantle snuck into the four with Claremont sitting in third. Claremont from a big win last week over South Fremantle, with Claremont having a loss against second ladder Peel Thunder. Swan Districts, of course, lead all comers. It's bright, it's hot, it'll be a fast game today. Lots of ins for Claremont, some senior players return. Sharks look pretty good as they go through their warm-up as well. And we'll be back to introduce our guests and talk more about this game after this.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple. Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
3, 1, go!
Welcome back, East Fremantle Oval, New Choice Homes Park. Again, Clint Degebrot sitting here speaking with you as we just await the start of this game. East Fremantle, of course, without the services today of Miley Leach and Chloe Riley. They were in action against Victoria and the Allies with the 19s program during the week over at Claremont too. Amy Franklin having her rest after returning back from National Academy duties, as well as playing in that side with Emily Bennett too. So a couple of young players out, but some experience has come back in for both teams, and it's looking like a good one. The teams have been really beautiful. I'm just going to throw across to Paris Laurie. Welcome to Paris. Of course, Paris has played at two different AFLW clubs here in WA and sitting alongside in special comments today. What are you expecting to see today, Paris?
I'm really excited to see both teams perform and see how they go, but it's a perfect day for footy, so I'm hoping the skill level should be pretty high, and we've got, like you said before, a few experienced players coming back into Claremont, so hopefully they can take a lead today.
How do you see East Fremantle's chances today? Claremont have been a pretty tight unit, and I think they're coming together over the last couple of weeks, and it's right into the season, I guess, to start getting their game planning together. What do you see East Fremantle needs to do today?
Yeah, well, obviously they may have a few guns out after under-19s states, but yeah, I'm really expecting an experienced side like them that have played finals and know how to play under pressure. So hopefully when Claremont bring the pressure, they know how to handle it and they can get through it today and really put up a good fight.
And these two sides have played some beautiful battles over the last couple of years, going down to points and final sirens and all different kinds of things as Claremont sort of found their feet. East Fremantle perhaps slipped away a little bit from the pack today, still in touch. So what do you see Claremont needs to get done?
Yeah, watching their game last week, they just didn't capitalise when they had the opportunities to. They obviously still were able to get a large lead on South Fremantle, but I think when it comes to teams like Sharks, they'll take advantage of that if you don't capitalise when you get it down your 50.
See the teams there. It's nice to see Rachel Ashley back in her slot at half-back. Great intercept marker as a young player, played a lot of state football. Kate Inglis-Hodge in the centre, that should be good too. Georgia Bett coming up from the Rogers Cup team. It's fantastic to see those young players getting their chances. And same over at Claremont as a 16-year-old playing today in Rubsy, so to speak. Really looking forward to seeing her playing. But Scanlon and Payne, Lowe, White and Orme with, of course, with Hayley Bullis. It looks pretty strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just having a little peek into the huddle here. Coach Andrew Di Loretto able to give his full attention now to the Claremont side after his West Coast duties are, well, I imagine he's still in conversations with the West Coast Eagles, but at least not on game day at the moment. So him and Jack Schwartz. Jack Schwartz has obviously been, like Jack Shorts actually, Bob McDonald started calling him the Shorts. He's he coached the front ends at in the National Championship too. So over the East Fremantle huddle, of course, Simon Quayle continues his work here, Premiership assistant coach, of course, a couple of years back, and they'll be fine. They'll be finely tuned today. Rosie Walsh is going to play fullback today, which is going to be interesting to see. Current weather, of course, brought to you by Front Row Screens. 27 degrees. The wind is blowing across the ground like it usually does. It doesn't have at the moment the vigour that it often has here at East Fremantle. Hopefully it serves to cool the players down, because out at the football this morning, very, very warm for players, so hydration the key. But once again, looking forward to this clash. East Fremantle will have to bring it, I think. Claremont Footy Club just starting to get there. Well, I think they're just starting to get things going over at Tigerland. Coaches are back full time. AFLW players are back playing. It's going to be an exciting finish to this WAFL program. Umpires in place. Hayley Bullis, Jess Lowe, Sophie McDonald in the ruck with Matilda. Hubby, being ill today. She's come out of the ruck. She's been given the Tigers some great service. Going over, of course, too. Sat on the bench for the Eagles a couple of times this year as an emergency and got really close in one story. I'm not sure you're able to tell, Paz, but there was at one stage she was very close to debuting.
Yeah, she was very close. I had to apologise that I didn't give her the option to go out there.
Of course, Paris Laurie rolling her ankle in the race, going onto the ground. That's a funnier story if I say it like that.
In the warm-up. No good, no good.
Better than the race, we're away. McDonald from McLennan on the ground straight away. Bullis. It's McDonald first to recovery, left foot awkward kick squeezes forward for Claremont. Coming back across the ground is Valentini. First forward 50 entry, Rosie Walsh approaches the ball, can't quite get the job done. It's Garstone playing forward again in the hands of Scanlon. Back feet is good, and the mark is taken on the chest at the top of the goal square within 30 seconds, and it's Amber Goodwin-Wissink.
Tessa Demana's been very effective with that left boot lately.
Been more and more impressed the more and more Germanis plays. Very clever. Amber Goodwin-Wissink, your body language will tell the story. Well, she didn't really muscle up there. She does like a celebration. Goodwin-Wissink is on the board. Fantastic forward movement. Good call about Germanis.
Very early goal for Claremont. Good start.
Germanis has been very potent. Her and Andy Payne, for mine, have been really, really dangerous around the ground for this entire season. Andy Payne, of course, not required just yet. All the job done there by Sophie McDonald. Goodwin-Wissink with one. Taking a little while to get the ball back, the umps. A hot day for them too, of course. All set. McDonald and McLennan again. McLennan jumps higher. Coronova reads the ball really well. She's tackled a little high initially by Sprillian. Plays on quickly. This will favour Gomes. Gomes can't quite collect it. It's Germanis again. She's going to use that left foot once more. Going towards White. Arriving now, O'Donnell. Payne coming off the wing. It's in her path. She can't quite find the handle at the moment. Pressure from the Sharks is good. Bullis, as you've seen her on the AFLW stage for West Coast Eagles, diving in and providing some pressure there. Stoppage. East Fremantle half forward. Taps okay again from McDonald, working well on the ruck early. Goranova wrapped up. Have another bounce again. Sprill in once more. Lovely tap over the head to Wong. She pulls it into the corridor. Who's there for the Sharkies? No one yet. Good ground recovery is okay. Pressure comes now from Claremont. Good tackle applied. Ball is squeezed forward. Bit of body work off the footy's good. Wrapped up again, Maddie Ross. And we'll have another restart. Lifted the intensity of this game already. McLennan. Wong. Knocked away from her. Glennon again. Back feed's okay to Gomes. She's looking for the centre corridor. She finds that, but unfortunately it's Claremont on the rebound. It's through Valvasore, and she hits Payne. Payne reels around quickly. It'll be a slightly shallow entry, but it's a beautiful little kick to Goranova, who can now assess play. White's run on, and it goes towards her. Alston's in this too, with the ball bouncing forward. Box seat for White. Handball's chopped off by the very tall Walsh, and she looks for the corridor as well. Just misses the target. Pressure coming again here. A little kick off the ground was clever by the skipper, Ashley Gomes. Kakamo with a spoil, or the shepherd I should say. Valvasore just extracts the footy. Pulled the kick at the last minute, clever. Cavalry arrives again now. Everyone is wrapped up.
Jess Valvasore is very good with the footy, being Gaelic. She's a bit crafty with her different kicks.
Liked Razvi's first 3 efforts on what I think is her debut. Been 3 tackles, as we see Adele Arnott try to get through the pack there, forcing the ball forward. O'Donnell with White. Gomes again busy early. She's wrapped up over the top by Arnott. We'll have another ball up. Sophie McDonald again. Little shin from Arnott. Going through O'Donnell. White was looking forward for a tackle there. Little give from McDonald. He's good to Bullis. Push off from Sasha Goranova. Set upon again. Here goes Valvasore. Just trying to set things up. Good spoil there from Versace. Versace didn't like something that was said or done there. Just gives Valvasore a little bit of a welcome to Australia. And a good servant of the East Fremantle Football Club, though. Larissa Versace. This is a long throw in. Actually beats everybody. Orm smart enough to let it bounce. Gives it to Goranova, who uses her left foot to try and advantage her teammate over there. But it's Ellie Sanders in the way. She manages to get the ball forward. Trying to arrive now. The Sharks. It's for Dell. Back feed is good. Long ball towards half forward. Looks like Tigers have the numbers at the moment. Maddie Ross leaves it behind. Is good enough to go back and get it. Handball inside's a beauty. That's to Fidel. Putting pressure on now the Sharks. A little fumble there by the Claremont defence. Going to keep this alive. The ball is off a step. And she's got a little shallow at 1 point in the first quarter of the Sharks. Can't quite see who that is over that side of the ground. Some more exciting ball work or ball movement or forcing the ball forward there, Paz?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Claremont seem to be trying to play this fast game, but I think they're better off doing the possession game. But the Sharks are doing well to rebound out and sort of intercept their trial at possession game.
See exactly what Ortlet was trying to do there. Just found a little space behind. Still a good defensive play. Looking to connect with Valvasore. It's Ashley Gomes called to play on. Long ball in's good. Overhead mark is plucked from the sky. Umpire's called play on here. A couple of people throwing their head back trying to get a free kick and a shot for goals. Meanwhile, Fortescue is trying to rip the ball out of there. Must have been touched on the way in.
It's a great contest, and she did well to mark it, unfortunate with the touch.
Steph Dalton down there. Going to be exciting for the day. Taking Lewis' position potentially. A scrappy play here inside forward 50 for the Sharks. Set up well behind the ball. The rucks nominate and go at it again. Both short rucks, both big jumps. Saatchi with a strong tackle. Maddie Ross appeared to have her legs taken on for a minute. She's now laying on her back, and Fortescue's trying to rip the ball from her. Handball's a good one, like Kath Bennett. Kick is nice from Adele Arnott. Finds Brooke White at the back. O'Donnell did get a little nick on that, but umpires generally pay that the way. It's Rachel Ashley looking like she's trying to get her intercept game going is good. Amber Goodwin-Wissink, 18's teammates from a couple of years ago. It's a good chase. Nice kick, finds Garstone just below her feet. She gets some support now from Scanlon. Scanlon's got some dash and she's got a good long kick. She hits this to the top of the square where, oh, it's just dropped by Amber Goodwin-Wissink. She's good enough to recover, use her left foot to get her second. Goodwin-Wissink, Scanlon with a long ball in was lovely. Goodwin-Wissink was the one that carried and bounced that across the 50, and I think Claremont will be very, very happy to have her back.
Terrific composure from Maddie Scanlon there to just pop that one up for Amber. That was really good.
That was Melissa Mattam in today for hubby, doing some work in defence with Maddie Ross. But transition to play, fast ball movement, the Tigers. And I reckon East Fremantle will be a little bit disappointed because I think they had the ground covered off there. Just got one out the back.
Yeah, I think Brooke White just was able to get that mark and then they were off.
Fast start.
Bella Lewis still wanting to be involved, can't play, but down here is runner.
I chat to her over in Melbourne. Wants to play 53 games a year at the moment, the young lady. When you're as good as football as her, it's okay to want that.
Yeah, I think she'd want to play every weekend if she could.
Sophie McDonald. Kath Bennett coming the other way against the play. It was Hamilton Smith, just low now. Slung in a tackle, got her hands out. Looks to be Arnott. The back feed's good. Bennett does what she does really well. She sinks a slipper, and Scanlon has a box seat here. Here she goes again. Uses the handball beautifully. Brookie White's a good kicker, good finisher. She pulls this one looking for Amber Goodwin-Wissink. Maybe a shot was on offer there, but Scarstone steaming out. It's 2v1. Rosie Walsh, the East Fremantle player, puts the pressure on there. That's terrific. In there now is Goodwin-Wissink looking for a third. Pressing hard. Defence from East Fremantle stood up strongly. How's your view there?
I like Scanlon's choice to play on, but I don't know whether the Claremont girls are ready for it. I don't know if they're ready to receive that quick.
Maybe that long ball in by foot. Another stoppage on the far side of Shark Park. East Fremantle defence being staunch now, although the Claremont Tigers locking that ball in. Repeat entries, of course. A lot of pressure on defenders. Certainly burn up the tickets. It's a good kick out. It's well gathered by Gomes. Pulls the ball into the corridor, and that's almost a terrific mark from Jessie Lowe. Terrific spoil from Sharon Wong. My apologies, Wongy.
Tongue twister.
Shouldn't have been. Just poor form. Bennett now, forward 50, using the right foot there, just trying to buy us a bit of space. For Amber Goodwin-Wissink, and it was enough for the defence just to see that over the line. Terrific body spoil by Wong in that contest. Lowe had that one.
Yeah,
and of course, both players first to recover.
Yeah, that's a terrific matchup. They're both tough as nails in the contest, so I'm excited to see them go against one another all day today.
Brilliant's actually gone on to Lowe here behind the ball. Long's gone further ahead and picked up Arnott. Four stroppy, hard-working characters that are great to watch, that's for sure. Ball thrown in. Bounces behind the play there. Valentini's okay. Just tries to find an option. Does backfeed the ball. Could be Scanlon on that side. It's Bennett again. She's been busy since she's come on. Long ball in O'Donnell. O'Donnell's made a living out of the intercept marking Dow defence for the Sharks. Of course, premiership player a number of years ago. This one's run over the line in the back 50.
The Rucks seem to be struggling to read the boundary throw-ins, which is understandable. Each umpire's a bit different, so hard until you've been playing for a couple of minutes to work out where they're going to throw, but hopefully this happens soon.
Yeah, there's big, strong throws, which is what the players are after. Just don't think they get it every week. They're certainly getting it today. I mean, it's probably the difference, Paris, between 5 metres, whether you need to come forward or back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, too close, of course. Ball goes over your head, no one will touch it till it bounces. Seem to have worked it out now. Long picks herself up last from that stoppage. McDonald again. She's had the best of the ruck so far. Bennett, I reckon 5 or 6 possessions. Quick time. Looping handball ins. Intercepted by Wong. Wong is sacked by Jessica Lowe. And it's, as has happened so far in this game, there is plenty of restarts. Good ruck work again. Tried to keep her feet. Sophie McDonald fell forward, eventually under pressure from the Sharks. Feeling the heat already, I'd suggest the players.
Yeah, most likely. It's pretty warm out there today and no breeze, like we said.
Really good body work in there from the Sharks ruckman. Donald finds herself at the back with Rosie Walsh. It's Garstone. All three of those players have played state footy with the state academy together. Sarah Garstone twists once, twists twice, finds Scanlon. She's looking for a back feed. She goes all the way back to Germanis, but Germanis has opened the game up here. Little play on's okay. She finds Valentini. And Valentini is a good striker of the football.
Terrific kick by Germanis.
Just demanded attention, Germanis, when she turned inside. Not quite sure of her distance. I think she should be putting this one up. Amber Goodwood-Wissink's done the business so far. I like the way this young lady strikes the ball. She puts it into the square. It's a lovely long kick in. Flying across is Amber Goodwood-Wissink. She can't do the last little grab, and it's O'Donnell. Gets it towards Inglis Hodge. Spits that out towards Ashley. Maddie Ross had to go 4-on-1 here. Goes up on the ground. Feeds the ball out beautifully. Steps inside is good too. Finds a handball option. Long ball finally now. Little nudge off the footy was very good play by Radokovic. She now provides some tackle pressure. We're out here with Valvasora again. Wong can't complete the intercept. Valentina will turn inside. Wong to pressure the kick, and she did enough to cause an issue for Jacinta Valentini. And I think some people don't see how often Sharon Wong is pressuring and adding 1%ers to the right at the coalface.
Yeah, she's terrific to watch. Just goes in so hard, and like you said, the 1%ers.
Just waiting for things to become apparent in front of the ball here. It's a nice little kick in space. It finds Prentice. Prentice has got some time. And she's a lovely little kick too. That's finding, well, it's just gone forward and found Cleaver, Georgie Cleaver. Another young player that East Fremantle are bringing on. Good kick to Gaz. She can't just quite grab that one. Really well read by Ortlep. Ortlep demands her backs to spread. Such a great leader. Such a great young leader. 10 years of footy. I reckon she's got 15 left. The kick's okay too. She's able to find the debutante in Rusby. It's been very busy, Rusby. A little inside-out kick, not intentional, but did bias Valentini. Good spoil back there from the Sharks. Brooke White stands up in 2 tackles. Fed out by Scanlon. Misses Bullis. Mopped up by the Sharks. Little fumble by Hayley O'Donnell. It's okay to Prentice. No one ahead of the footy here for the East Fremantle, except who's Johnny on the spot, which is Steph Dalton. Fortescue tries to run it from her. Dalton, great pressure. Kakamo also gave a bit of a hand, but the ball skittles the Sharks ruckman and McLennan. And Rosie Walsh is able to nearly give us some relief for the Tigers. Hamilton Smith read it off and covered it well. Little bounce. She's running very wide though. Trying a little connect with Germanis. Germanis, little ball on forward, rugby league style. Trying to find the try line. Scanlon, always dangerous in this situation. Little touch off the boot. No, it's gone off the boot and over the line. On the full, you've done a bit of work with Maddie Scanlon. We don't know a whole heap about her.
Yeah, she's a terrific young player, and I hope to see her use her speed a little more instead of trying to kick around her oppo today, which looks like what her go-to is at the moment. But she's very quick and can really create in the forward line.
East Fremantle again trying to construct a forward entry. A little messy on the ground. Scanlon comes off the deck. Rosie Walsh to put the pressure on. She tries to keep her feet. Little flip-ups are up, but it's found Germanis. Arnott, generally okay in the forward 50 here. Bullis, goal kicker at AFLW level. And she's turned this one over into the goal square. Keeping that line, goalkeeper style, it's Claudia Rowell, or Rowell. To play on. Well, floating ball's okay towards Alston. Not intentional, I don't think. Not a lot of foot on it. Mopped up by Bullis to Arnott. Arnott pulls the ball over her shoulder. Too far. That'll go over the line and out of bounds. In a dangerous position, Paris Laurie. You've been put in this position a number of times as a ruck in defence.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind going back, being the goalkeeper.
What's the plan here with this boundary throw-in, though, defensively?
Oh, I think we just got to make sure your mids are switched on there. You can't have a runner coming through and get an easy shot on goal there, but definitely heading towards the boundary, that's for sure.
So you're trying to tap on the... Which way are you tapping? You're pulling the ball down on your hip?
I'll definitely keep it close in and towards the boundary. We don't want any taps over our head towards corridor, but definitely close in.
Great extraction from Wong. Gives to the running McLennan. Asking a lot of Maddie Ross today. She's got a little tug on the jumper. One thing she does have, well, this year she's been super all over the ground, but she's quick.
Yeah, got a bit of grit too. It's good to see.
She gets real grumpy. I like it. I like watching her play. A touch off here is good. held up too. Good decision. Gomesy, far side. Claremont bench pretty agitated about the ball movement. I think you mentioned that before, Paris, about potentially going slow here and there.
Yeah.
We say that as, or I say that as Claremont attempt to go into 7th gear there and come through the corridor. Very, very good tackle in there from Inglis Hodge. I think the Sharks were off. Sorry, I think the Tigers were off.
Got Brooke White in the ruck now.
I was trying to think about how they would cover off with Sophie McDonald. Wouldn't be grumpy enough to play in the ruck.
Yeah, got the body work.
Yeah, she wouldn't call herself tall, I don't think.
No, but I mean, undersized ruck, you got to back him in, don't you?
Yeah, I'll give you that one. Paris Laurie, of course, toiling away against the 187s. I'll call you 182, even though it's probably 179. Good handball receive at the back from Arnott. She tucks under her arms. Can have a bounce here. She probably have another one. Stretches the goals, Germanis. Little handball over the top was to herself. Barry Cable. Here she goes. Handball down to Germanis. Steady, straight in front, and she's able to finish with a snagger. That's 3 for the Tigers. And how about that? Handball over your player and pick it up yourself. She's been watching videos from 1983. Adele Arnott. Congratulations.
She definitely brings a bit of flair to the game, and she'll be loving that one. But terrific just to give that one off to Germanis and know that she can finish off after Adele's just done quite a big run through there.
Are we allowed to tease Adele that she might not have had enough petrol in the tank after that hard run? We're just going to say that was great play.
Terrific play.
Yeah, otherwise we'll get a text message, and so will I. Congratulations to the Tigers. It's a fast start. The Sharks pretty good in defence at different times. It's 2 goals to Amber, Goodwin, Wissink, Germanis with the one that you just saw on screen. I think the East Fremantle Sharks managed to grab a point from a couple of forward 50 entries. Optus Waffle with front row screens, sitting here having a great time with Paris Laurie. We'll have a quick break and acknowledge our sponsors before we come back and get Paris to set us up for the second quarter.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple. Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
Welcome back. Optus WAFLW. Clint Degebrot here with front row screens with your broadcast. Paris Laurie too. Paris, the East Fremantle coach right now, and you're inside that huddle. What's your instructions?
Yeah, I think that Claremont's done well to beat them out the back, and I think they probably need to do the same thing. But I think maybe just 1 or 2 extra handballs break that line of defence, and then they'll be able to get it over that second line. I think a few times they've reached that back line of Claremont's defence, but Claremont's been good enough to rebound and come back through it. So maybe just a little bit more patience to make the defenders make a bit more of a decision, and hopefully that'll get them over that line of defence.
Watching General Holmes there, and couple of other different coaches giving their opinion. Jeremy, of course, came back from the 18 or the 19 state tour as well. So Claremont, you know Andrew Dillard really well. What is he saying right now to his team?
Yeah, I think he'd be saying really good work so far, girls, and the way that we finish that quarter is the way that we need to play this second quarter and not to become complacent. I think sometimes that can happen once you get a bit of a lead on like this, that the girls sort of start to relax, but I think this is an opportunity for them to put their foot down a little bit and then maybe make a third and fourth a little easier for them if they can, but also knowing that Sharks are going to come out hunting.
Seeing some highlights here and some players that have had an impact on the game so far. Who have you liked?
Yeah, absolutely. For Sharks, I think that Sharon Wong has been really aggressive at each contest and done a really good job. And then obviously Maddie Ross has been pretty much in every contest that we've seen and really going in hard. And once she gets the footy as well, quite a smart player with her decisions. So that's really good to see. And for Claremont, we've definitely seen them share it around a bit, I think, through the defence line. You've seen Jess Valvasori get her hands on it. And we've seen Adele and Adele Arnott. We've seen Tessa Demanis. She's
on screen now, just passing off to Jacinta Valentini. She's been super.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's a real threat down there in their forward line for them. And I think even Brooke White and Sophie McDonald have done a pretty good job in the ruck so far, both not usually playing that position.
It's also got to say that I love watching those Auckland girls play. So glad there's two of them. The only thing that disappoints me is not three.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I would watch them every week, the way they sweep up in defence. That's fantastic. And Arnott, of course, giving Tess Germanis one late in that last quarter. Long chat from the East Fremantle coaches. Just to reset, I think, a little rethink. 3 goals is a decent margin in the WAFLW. Not unassailable, but they can ill afford to let the first couple go.
Yeah, maybe not as much experience in the team this week, but with a few young guns in there, they might be able to run it out a bit better, especially in this heat. So hopefully we get to see them run and carry, break the lines, and can really take it to Claremont in this quarter.
A couple of good players down the back there too. They've been good so far. Georgie Cleaver's had a couple of touches. Ellie Sanders down with Hayley O'Donnell and Rosie Walsh. I think they've done the job. Be nice to see Alston enforce herself into the game too. I do like the way she defends and she can actually catch the ball overhead too. So I imagine that will be the message from the defensive coaches. Let's get it into your hands. The deepest player there is Georgie Cleaver. She's going down to the square. On screen there is Jacinta Valentini, or left now. The ball umpire holds the ball aloft. We're away in quarter 2. Sophie McDonald, McLennan clear win. Nice jump running onto that one was brilliant. All tackled by Bullis. Famous for that. Garstone off a step, finding space out on the wing there is Orm. Paddles it to her own advantage. Looks for an outside runner. She just give it inside to Scanlon because it's half smothered. Scanlon's trying to find Jacinta Valentini on the far side. East Fremantle overlap handballs intercepted by Lowe, and Lowe's going into Garstone. Drops what she should have taken perhaps. She's on the ground now under pressure from O'Donnell. Looking for a laneway runner. She leaves it behind. The Easter egg hunt has stepped over it. The kids can come and get later.
Good to see Garstone down in forward. Bit of different craft for her.
Also, she's super competitive too, so provides a really good option for Claremont. Meanwhile, some of the best ball movement we've seen so far from East Fremantle. Ashley Gomes into the corridor. Guess who? Rachel Ortleb finds Orm. Beautiful setup from Orm. Jacinta Valentini presents, and she's able to take the chest. Those boots are magnificent. Hits it over to Scanlon again. She's been busy. Orm calls for the handball over the top. Should be looking for a long ball here, Kate Orm. She does provide some really good service in to Germanis. It carries over her and Alston in the correct position for her. And she's able to wrap up Germanis. Just a little clip on the nose, perhaps, just as Germanis was trying to find a way. Wrong side for a left footer.
Terrific ball movement from Claremont down this wing. That was great to see the switch play and then hit up targets.
Particularly on the back of such great ball movement from the Sharks. Deliberate kick, left foot snaps okay. And a crater across the face, it's Garstone, who will be just a little frustrated, I think, at the moment because she's about 30 centimetres away from busting this game right open.
Yeah, she'll be sick of that oval ball, I think, bouncing the wrong way every time.
Yeah, sometimes often said that you make your own luck. I think sometimes that oval ball takes it away from you. Wouldn't be the first people to be talking about that, that's for sure. All in, over the back, no one touches that. More shove forward from Cleaver, under pressure Low. Brings the ball back into forward 50. Germanis, clean pick up below her knees. Misses Scanlon. Scanlon doesn't seem to mind a bit of pressure though. She pulls this around the corner on the right foot. And again, just can't complete what would have been a really neat mark was Sarah Garstone. The discipline of the Tigers mids pulled right back here and have covered this ground off.
Yeah, really good to see, giving that space to their forwards, let them work.
We'll tap over the back this time from Cleaver. Valentini first there, steps inside, good tackle from Versace. It's Versace again, drives the ball out. Sophie McDonald well set up as the ruckman. Long ball into Garstone, Walsh over the back. The ball is over the back. Garstone leads that race. She runs around the football a little bit. Rosie Walsh has just been able to tie this up for long enough perhaps. Ball jars free now. Little kick out from the Sharks. It falls in Orm's hands now. Orm should be able to finish this from here. She can't quite get the right side of the footy, but it's carried. And Germanis again. Now Germanis is not playing on Marnie Alston in this passage of play, but unfortunately she had the height. Sorry, she had the positional advantage. She plays on around, pulls that ball across her body, much more comfortable in the far pocket, and she's got two as well.
She's really turning it on, isn't she? It's good to see. It's terrific footy.
And I do like the way Germanis goes about things.
And she can wear those bright blue boots because she plays so well, so it's all right. She's a real flair in there.
Look at that, highlighted too on the replay there. Terrific boots. A lot of pink shoes out there today.
Yeah, it seems that's the trend at the moment, isn't it?
Do you know, I'm that old, Paz, that if you didn't wear anything but black boots, you just get taken out behind the sheds at Mills Park and get pummeled.
I was always under the impression that you had to be a spectacular player to wear the bright ones. That's why I'm always in black.
Yeah, I think you might be showing either your level of maturity or
maybe my age even.
Maybe I wasn't going to go there.
Yeah, the young ones are coming through.
Yeah, I'm with you. You want to be some kind of player to wear bright orange boots. This takes an out from Bullis from the ruck and it's terrific. Ball in to Germanis. Lets this one bounce. Hands it off to Scanlon. How easy is this? And Scanlon runs into open goal and puts it straight over the goal umpire's hat. Well, that was 3 possessions, Paz.
That was as efficient as it gets, really.
Bullis just pulled it out of the stoppage. And the fast play from there, there's danger signs here for the Sharks.
Yeah, and really well done with Germanis and Scanlon there. Just to pick it up cleanly, give it off to Scanlon running through and finish strong. She's
done a couple of different things really well today, Scanlon. She's been good on the ground. She's taken a couple off the air. She's fed the ball off beautifully by foot. Now she's hit the scoreboard.
Hopefully that goal gives her a little bit of confidence too to continue to really take it on today.
You know what else should give you confidence? Like being really good at football.
Yeah.
I think she's okay.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Should be confident every week.
Very athletic frame, and she's using it to great advantage today. Sharks have to answer. There's a big out two here. Walking the water on the boundary line. Former Kimberley Bowie. Not playing today. Staunch defender this year. As we see Sophie McDonald pull the ball around to Brooke White. Donald back in the ruck. White's give was good to Lowe. She runs away from Inglis Hodge. Ball's a little dirty into Amber Goodwin-Wissink. She's such a good, tall marking player who doesn't need it delivered on the ground. Rosie Walsh eventually is able to try and kick the ball clear. Inglis Hodge mops up beautifully with a 1-2 with Alston on the far side trying to find Fidel. Getting there first is Hamilton Smith. Can't break the Fidel tackle. Back feed's a little vicious. Might bring Sprilling into the game. She goes past it. There's plenty of support from her teammate there. Kick down the line to Maddie Ross. Very clever in these situations. She wheels inside. Unfortunately, smothered there by Ortlep that time. Picks up her own crumb. Feeds the ball out to Sprilling. Sprilling's handball smothered. She has another go again. She finds a little chip out with Prentice in the corridor. Sharks have lifted their intensity. Can they construct something in front of the ball? Through Versace's hands. Can't quite complete that. It's Cleaver. Sophie McDonald kicks the ball to advantage of Germanis. It's going to be really hard work for Alston here. Germanis looking for a little short one. Garstone presents. Does enough. The defender there, and Rachel Ashley was very good. Alston comes back to support to Rosie Walsh, and Rosie Walsh just kicks it out of there. A little break perhaps. Kakamo. Little hands to Versace. The skipper in games has got the run. Versace again. East need a chest so they can have a rest. There was Georgie Cleaver ahead of the ball here. That's That's a good decision from the umpire.
Yeah, a bit high there.
It was Sprillian in a headlock from Adele Arnott. Versace short if she likes. He's looking longer. Does go to Versace now. Little chest is good. Created the open side play here with Roll. Roll very good. Little centre kick. She's trying to stop play. Just can't quite connect here. Kicks a little. Asks a lot of Georgia Bet. Inglis Hodge thumps it in. Crashing the pack there. The Claremont defence. Through the Sharks midfield. In the hands of Bet to Versace. Long ball in. Well read by the Claremont defenders here. Rachel Ortlip again. Maddie Ross. Ross is able to turn inside. She can't quite find a gap. It's a good tackle from Mackenzie Webb.
Tackle pressure's been very good today.
Had to tackle Maddie Ross there too, because once she gets inside, she's hard to catch. Sharks forward. Forwards are set up beautifully now. Just got to get a clearance win. Wong, clearance expert. Short kick in. Prentice tries to paddle the ball forward. Actually, it was Kakamo. Once again, the Tigers trying to kick that ball out. Bet puts a mystery handball in. Kakamo again. Ballers smothered over the line by Versace. Versace's got herself up and going.
Yeah, a little dangerous by Claremont, putting on the boot towards corridor in that D50, but turned out to get a ball in, so that's okay.
Once again, this is the best opportunity the Sharks have had to score. Ball's in a terrific position for them, and they're set up well ahead of the footy. Tap down's okay. Georgie Cleaver trying to do the work. You can see the intent there from Sophie McDonald and Larissa Versace.
Sharks doing well to hold it in their 50 here, though.
Versace again. Just need to get a breath here. I think the players are just agreeing just to take a little break from the game for the moment. Hot day. Breeze has dropped off. 27 degrees. Off the ground's okay by Goranova. O'Donnell just trying to measure something here. Misses her foot. Alston shoveled out towards Wong. Wong goes back inside, fires a beautiful handball in towards her teammate there. We'll go a little scrap. Half back for Claremont again as they try to work the ball forward. Just apologise to Ellie Sanders. Was playing very well down there. I've just called her Marnie Alston 3 times as Brooke White takes a chest right in front of the commentary box. Looks to construct short. Amber Goodwin-Wissing handball to Hamilton Smith, who was blocking for her. Had enough time to go back and get this one. Attempted long ball in, was smothered, and now it's in the hand of Sanders. Sanders clearing kick, missed by everybody. I don't know whether it's been touched, so Germanis will do that now. Steps inside beautifully. Little short kick to Bennett on the chest. Claremont just take a little bit of heat out of the game just for the moment. Nice option for Germanis on. She's got some space out the back if the ball can land. Germanis hasn't run for this one. It's Orm this time. Orm's got a runner, or laneway runner in Amber Goodwin-Wissing. She handballs the ball over towards Payne. Payne misses the footer she's crashed into by Haley O'Donnell. Quick kick out of there to the top of 50. Some work here for Sprillian. 1 on 3. Paddles the ball forward. The back feed's terrific to Hamilton Smith. Long ball in. Garstone in a decent position in this situation. Some great work there from Rachel Ashley with the body to stop Garstone's access to the footy. I really like Rachel Ashley in the back line. I just think she's such a natural defender.
Yeah, she reads the play really well.
Not quite up to her intercept marking best just yet. A couple of injury concerns this season as she settles back into the WAFLW work. Extended conversation between the bench coach and the runner out here. Bella Lewis is getting an education. Wong, great extraction. Short kick towards McLennan. McLennan's been good this season around the ground with that mark. A little pull in the arm by Sophie McDonald was well timed. Wong. Got to feed that ball out to Sprillian. It's constructing well ahead of the footy here. That's a lovely mark by Dalton.
They can go quick before Claremont defenders go back.
Got Nadia Brown streaming through the middle. Goes back to Inglis Hodge. Little connections okay. Prentice through her hands. She's got a ground battle now. Tries to squeeze the ball towards Fidel. Does so. Kakamo. Though chooses not to take this one. Actually taps it towards Jess Lowe in the end and Goranova. Could be they've got an overlap here. The Sharks have really worked deeply back into defence. Sanders has been excellent this quarter. Brookie White off the ground again a couple of times. She's 3 or 4 kicks in the book. Was perhaps. Handball over the top to Scanlon, and Scanlon unselfishly pulls this within a half a metre of Sarah Garstone again. I think you'd well be well within your rights to take a shot there, Maddie Scanlon.
Brooke White, though, teased in 2 players and then got that handball over the top. That was pretty well done by her.
And a couple of kicks there. One on the shin, one on the knee, one on the toe. All worked out for an immense experience. Played footy across Australia. Spent some time in the WAFLW. Wonderful West Australian product. Still playing footy. Sharing her knowledge with the youngsters. Bodywork by Sanders. Flips this back to Versace. Once again, been impressed with Sanders. A couple of times I've seen her this year. Valentini to put the ball back in.
Nice little knock on there by Delana.
Yeah, those things go unnoticed often, don't they? But they're so good. Rachel Ashley comes charging out for the Sharks. Ball in the hands of Walsh via roll. Flying through the air there is Arnott. Can't quite finish the mark. It's all breaking ahead of her. It's a lovely little layoff to Garstone again, and Garstone reaches over the top. Can't quite do the work. Good body work from Haley O'Donnell. She's good on the ground. She pulls this around the corner. Watch for the celebration. There isn't any. She's just got it one short. Garstone's looking dangerous.
Yeah, did well there. Didn't quite get the mark, but then got her own crumb again and was able to have a shot. 5
goals to 1 point. 4 minutes to play, or 4 minutes 30 to play.
Sharks have had a few plays where they've looked really dangerous, so hopefully they just need to get it into that 50 and get deep entries, and I think they'll be all right.
Not holding their length, though, are they, at those different times? Getting a bit high up the ground.
Yeah, makes it hard when you look up and there's not much to kick to.
You want to have that faith that you can go deep. Rachel Ashley, very kick of the football, but this one, a lot of shin in it. Trying to rip it out of there, the Sharks. Very well done. McLennan running well. Kicks the ball over the top. Attempted screamer by, is it Prentice over on the far side? Just a little early. Garstone's played it on ahead of the footy. She's going to put another long ball in. Garstone's had to go back with the flight. Much more comfortable with this one. It was the hardest one she's had. She goes back, expected contact, protected the drop of the ball, and was able to complete the catch. Wasting no time about this. Rosie Walsh jumps over the mark, and she's got a second point in the last minute and a half. Garstone. It's great to see the Claremont players looking for her as well. She is presenting.
Yeah, maybe the runner just took out a bit of grippo there. Gave it off to her and she's taken that one.
Bit of belt grip back in my day. Made the ball really slippery if there was any water on it. Good mark from Ashley.
Did well there. It was a bit of a wobbly kick.
Just a measure of how well she reads the ball in flight. Little chip kick really favours Claremont. It's actually opened the game up for them too. Needed to be a little skinnier. Meanwhile, Scanlon's going to get the benefit of the doubt here because she's camped over that. She's being held in the rail tackle. Ball spills free. Valentini trying to work it out. Sharks pressures up. She's been called for holding the ball. Trying to create play, which is just fine. Versace's up and about. One of East Fremantle's most important players this year. Things happen a bit quickly, and you can see right now, Paris Laurie, that this ground is flat as a pancake for East Fremantle. They've got nowhere to go.
Yeah, not too many options. I don't know whether a bit of fatigue setting in and not able to run and clear.
Great tap to Versace from McLennan. Deserved more, but fantastic tackle.
Does seem like Sharks are winning it in close, but then they just don't have that outside give, and Claremont's probably the opposite at the moment.
I think pressure like that one there from Bullis just means you just can't get that clean ball away. Orm set up well behind the footy. So is this young lady. Ortlap to Arnott. Holds up play here. Allows her forwards to go to work and stretch the ground out. Over towards Scanlon. It's Garstone. She tries to tap towards Scanlon. Goes and gets her own crumb and eventually does hand it off. Scanlon turns around the corner, trying to get the ball to Germanis. There's a lot to do with very little room there with that kick, and it goes over the line and out of bounds on the full.
Very composed from Ortlap down here, and every time she finds the open player and hardly ever misses it. But yeah, a very composed back player.
Well, it's just Michael Farmer over at Subiaco, and I would say the same of Andrew Dillard here. I don't think the Ortlaps have a magnet. I think they just texted on the board in permanent marker. Garstone in front of her face, looks for a laneway runner, can't get one. It's forced to take the shot for herself. She does. Little nick on that, I think. Off hands, no, it's gone out of bounds on the full. Demanding a laneway runner, couldn't get one. That's rare at Claremont. generally really do stream through that 50 well.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, a minute left to go in a second quarter in this heat. The running maybe has dropped off a little bit.
There's no doubt it's warm. Ali O'Donnell sinks the slipper into this one, trying to get over the back to McLennan, who does the work on the ground, taps it back towards low. She pulls it back in to the 450 straight away. Had to stand there and take that. O'Donnell did it well for the Sharks. Rachel Ashley trying to get the ball out, and it will go out. Inside 50, rolls over. Last possession rule only affected, or only enforced between the arcs. The way these blokes have been squatting in the gym during the week, these umps, you'll throw this in the centre circle, I reckon. Great work from McLennan, just to palm it down to Versace, off hands to Wong. Wong's looking for the line, I'd suggest. She's playing footy in the 90s. Brooke White pulls this ball in to Scanlon, and that's a good mark in front of her face. She's having a day.
That was a strong mark.
This is what she's been threatening to do this season so far. I think all the things she's threatened to do this season, she's doing today. Bit of a kind of distracted in the box here as Claremont decide they want to ring the siren a little early.
Yeah, I think it just went to the right a little bit, that kick. Had the distance.
Yeah, no, it was a nice foot strike. Always going to slide that way, particularly when you have a look at the flags on the other side, kicking pretty much into it from that angle. Now, that's a terrific quarter again from Claremont. Germanis got one. Germanis added one to her tally, and Maddie Scanlon hit the scoreboard as well. East Fremantle got a little bit of work to do, Paris Laurie, but so far, Claremont Football Club have got all the play and all the run and all the control of the ground. It's half time. We'll build you up towards the second half after we get a little break and a little breather. Like these players, I think we'll have a little drink of water. Thanks very much to Optus for their coverage too, and Kia, who we haven't mentioned as yet, who provides all the ability for us to drive around for the Football Commission. So thanks very much to those as well. Front row screens at half time. We have got the Sharks leading 5 goals 1. Sorry, we've got the Tigers leading 5 goals 1 to the Sharks with just the 1 point, 32-1. Plenty to do for the Sharkies, but they're a good squad. They've got a good coaching group, so you'd imagine they're going to get a rev up. A couple of change of plans, and we'll see something special for them after this break.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple. Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
yarning in the background. Here we are back again. Some highlights for you. Amber Goodwin-Wissink getting the first of her 2. Paris Laurie's just done an absolute massive breakdown of what needs to happen next, and we'll get to her in just a moment. Claremont dominating this game, as they did last week against South Fremantle. Number of players that have threatened to be very good this season have broken away. I haven't seen Adele Arnott play this well for a little while. It's great to see Amber Goodwin-Wissink strong over her head. She gets this one off the ground, of course, left foot up. Doing pretty well. Tess Germanis causing all kinds of problems down there. And I think that's allowed Maddie Scowen to get off the chain as well. And she goes again, Maddie Scowen. Very busy. Sharon Wong and all the usual suspects at these Fremantle Sharks. I think just off air, we're just talking about how much you miss an Evie Gooch into this team, and how much an Anne McMahon would create that extra drive through that middle of that square too. Spoke about Rachel Ortlep in the last break, how strong she is across half-back and how she sets the Tigers up so well. Goalkeeper on the line there for the Sharks. Also, you need to say hello to the Riley family too. The Riley family tend to listen in the breaks, because apparently that's when we tend to mention Chloe Riley is in the breaks.
Oh,
so I just wanted to make sure if you are listening in the breaks today, it is appreciated that you do so. I did actually instruct the girls they should be fast forwarding through it, but if they're just reviewing their games, of course, if they're watching live, it's a bit hard to do so. A number of families and dogs and kids out on the oval at the moment, just enjoying the last little piece of summer in what is our Western Australian Perth autumn. Very warm in this commentary box.
It is a bit, but beautiful day for footy. I think initially girls were a little bit worried about maybe playing in the summer and aligning with the AFLW, but I think having less wet weather games definitely allows for the girls to show off their skills a little more, and some entertaining footy, that's for sure.
Well, we've got a couple of things to do before we get back to the game. One, thanks to Kia. Let's take a look at the work that WA Female State Academy coach Bo McDonald has been conducting to strengthen the talent pathway for female football in WA. Of course, got home last night. We see these dogs bounding around. I love this little piece of female footy here in WA. But, we can go off and hear about how Bo is working to strengthen the pathway of female football in Western Australia. Came back from the National Academy camp last night and was straight into coaching at Guildford today. We can hear from him right now.
I suppose I developed my love for football when I was very young. I grew up in a sporting family. The girls went to netball on Saturday and the boys went down to Bassendean Oval and we watched Swan Districts. My uncle's a Gary Sidebottom. He played over 100 games at Swan Districts. My pop Wally Sidebottom played state football and also for Swan Districts. I didn't play football till year 12 at the Upper Swan Junior Footy Club. I went down there in year 12 and played in the under 18s, and I found myself at Swan Districts Colts the next year. And then the year after that I was lucky enough to make it to the Brisbane Lions. In 2001, I think to be part of history was fantastic. I really remember getting a handball out to Bossy when he's kicked that goal from the boundary line, and I remember pushing over the contest. I think John Barnes was my opponent. When I seen Bossy flash past, I remember giving him the handball and sort of folding in behind him, and I was directly behind him, and he's kicked the ball and it's just gone through. And I remember running back to the centre thinking, this isn't over. This is such a good football team we're playing against. There was no room to relax until that siren went.
And they've beaten the chance.
When I retired in 2008, I spent some time at the Brisbane Lions, assistant coaching role, worked behind the scenes in some welfare roles and some ruck coaching. I was there for 3 years, but then I moved to the Pilbara. I worked with young Indigenous males up there, trying to get them to go to school and helping them out with their lives. And then I got the opportunity to coach the Northwest Academy through the West Australian Football Commission, and I started to really enjoy coaching that young group, and I felt like I have a responsibility to give kids the opportunity that I had. I enjoyed my time coaching in the country, but getting back into high performance was what I really wanted to do, and the opportunity was there in female football. And I moved down to Perth to be involved in the female talent pathway to coach under 18 state girls.
Bo's application really stood out to us because of his experience in the coaching world. So it wasn't so much that he'd played AFL, in fact that's limited to it. It's his ability to connect one-on-one with people. He knew what it took to play and coach at the highest level. He'd worked at community level in Aboriginal and community engagement, so we knew he was the right package to move a group of people from where they were to where they needed to be.
The girls are, they're a joy to coach. We're really just there to give them the best opportunity, that if you get that call up to the AFLW, you can do your best when you get there.
He understands that each player needs to make their own progressions. So what drives him forward is driving a player forward. His ability to move a player with their understandings through the developmental stages and pathways would be his best attribute. We're really lucky to have support of fantastic sponsors like Kia, because they allow us to drive the game forward. Bo's been able to really drive female football, and our staff love driving the Kia cars. We've got staff that have since bought their own Kia cars as well, which is terrific. To have Kia as a sponsor to allow us to card our people, our equipment, and to basically power and drive what we're doing inside female football is terrific.
We're trying to drive a culture here within our academy group. We also want to produce WAFLW players and good community members and people that go back and give in some way to the community. And let the girls know that whether they go on in their football or they go into a workplace, all these things that we're trying to instill in our culture here, they're transferable to the next place that you go, and it's just all part of being a good person.
One of the wonderful shots we can get here at East Fremantle Oval. Families and dogs playing footy out on the oval. In fact, there's been a dog on the ground that has done some wonderful defensive work, although does buy some candy from the look of that. It's not that one. There's another dog on the park that is working just as hard. This game today, of course, paused the moment for half-time break. 32 points. The Tigers with just the one for East Fremantle. Didn't score in the last quarter, although I'm sure right now everything's being set up really beautiful. That's the dog that's really doing some defensive work. Need to know that dog's name. Does buy some candy though. Little step here and there. We're going to go to a break. We're going to be coming back to present to you the last half through front row screens of the Optus WAFLW clash between Claremont and East Fremantle here at East Fremantle Oval.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
3, 1, go!
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
Welcome back to East Fremantle Oval, where the Mighty Sharks trail the Tigers by 31 points. We're just awaiting the third quarter which will be brought to you by Simply Energy. We're sitting here with Paris Laurie. I want to ask Paris a couple of questions about the mighty West Coast Eagles. So, season was a little tougher than it looked to be at the start. Looked like there was going to be 3 wins. I think the pass mark early was 2. I think you girls would be thinking that wasn't a pass mark, that you thought there was 4 available. What's the feeling at the club at the moment?
Yeah, I think while we definitely would have preferred to have a bit more success on field, I think we're still really happy with the development we've made, and a new coach in Praddy, and learning a new game plan and that sort of thing. I think, this year was a massive part was education. So I think we've learnt a lot, and there's still lots more to learn. But I think the girls are really excited and motivated to have a really good off season and then come out firing next season.
How long did Praddy have with you before the season started?
Oh, not all that long, actually. Obviously, we had the academy throughout the middle of the year, and he wasn't with us then. And then sort of in the coming weeks to when we were about to begin, we found out Paddy would be our coach.
Was it 8 weeks, 12 weeks?
Before?
The lead-in, yep.
Yeah, probably. Oh, maybe even a little bit less.
Yeah, because I know it was a remarkable turnaround from sort of the way you'd been playing to new coach and let's go. Did you find he made things simpler for you?
I think he definitely educated us a lot, and I think it was a style of game plan that really suited our players and the strengths that we had in our team. So I think that really helped us. But the girls just all really jumped on board and committed to it, and I think we enjoyed playing that way as well and saw success in it in moments and in quarters, and gave us the belief that it was going to work. And now the thing we've got to do is string that together and make it consistent for 4 quarters.
Of course, the big stunning development was first year player Bella Lewis winning the club fairest and best. Michaela Bowen also had a terrific year. How do you see your young players developing?
Yeah, I think they've been fantastic, and they've really just transitioned into the club really well. I think sometimes first year players can be a little bit timid, but definitely you'll never see that in Bella Lewis. So she's been fantastic, and all of the young girls have, and they're just eager to learn and eager to get better, and all team first players, so it's really good. We've
got a little Bella Lewis story too. She came back into Perth, of course, after she went over to the MVP Awards in Melbourne and hadn't done her G2G.
Oh, of course she didn't.
When she was told, you need to do your G2G, she said, I did one last time I went to Melbourne. Jack Shorts was on the same flight, was able to say, young Bella, you have to do one every time.
Yeah, classic Bella Lewis.
Yeah, very, very good at football, very, very good at education and learning, wonderful little human being, but just likes to keep everyone on their toes, administrators on their toes a little bit. So she was able to keep the West Australian Police Force on their toes as she returned back from Melbourne. Would have been a wonderful experience for her and Michaela to be over there at that function. Just inside a couple of minutes before we start here. Sharks aren't on the ground yet. Claremont have already gone into their huddle. You can hear the Sharks come onto the deck now. Just going through our highlights package too. No surprise, Bullis, Scanlon and Germanis featuring strongly. The Sharks have just come onto the ground, so extended conversations in the rooms, potentially just to keep them in the shade for a bit longer too, which is not a bad idea. They're in their huddle now. Claremont huddle is broken. Kate Inglis-Hodge has the call. Very, very insistent, very, very confident. And Kate Inglis-Hodge has been a good leader of this team. Became a leader really quickly too. She sort of began playing her footy, and next thing you know was really running through the midfield and helping people set up play. I think her and Gomes are a very good double act. I'm not sure that Inglis-Hodge is in the leadership group. I assume she would be, but you don't need to see or an L next to your name to be a leader, and I think that Inglis-Hodge has developed into a fine young player. I think she'll play a lot of football for his footy club.
Good to see, and sometimes they just got that natural leading ability, and it just really comes out.
It's hard sometimes for young players too when you just sort of say, how do I know if I'm a leader? Well, people follow.
Yes, yeah.
And people do follow Kate Inglis-Hodge because she sets a very high standard for herself. Here we go again. Simply Energy, third quarter. McLennan jumps nice and high, gets it into the hands of Bullis, who's immediately wrapped up by a couple of Sharks there.
McLennan's been good in the ruck today, very strong.
I like McLennan. She's been good around the ground too at different times. Bullis extracts this one from the McLennan tap. Hits her on the knee. The umpire rightly says that's incorrect disposal. A little pull tackle from Wong was very well timed. Wong's looking to go quickly. Plays on now. I don't know whether McLennan was the intended target. A wonderful mark around the ground. She gives Sophie McDonald a little bit of, can I please have some more room before playing on. It's okay. Searching lead out there from Dalton. Bounces off her chest. Hamilton Smith in pursuit. Karis Brilliant. Alan Smith stood up strong. Passed the ball forward. Through Sophie McDonald. Seeing some long kicking from Bennett. Amber Goodwin-Wissink just keeps her feet in this situation. She's got time to have a bounce here, the left footer for a third. Just pops it up, a little bit flat. Gimanis can't do much about that. Alston should arrive first. She does, but she allows the teammate to pick it up. Handballs the ball into the corridor. Alston's little toe now. They're under pressure now, the Sharkies. A little handball out. Missed its intended target, but now she's able to clear on the far side for her team. Looking for McLennan again. Against Bullis. McLennan goes to her knees. Wong doesn't. Sophie McDonald steps inside and releases Jess Lowe. Jessica Lowe gets it in not deep enough. And the intercept mark is taken out there from Prentice. A couple of good defensive pieces of play by Prentice in that situation. This kick is a good one too. Time to direct some traffic now. And kick over the top to McLennan. Misses her. McDonald drops in front. She's first to recover. Loping run forward. Lovely balling to Garstone, and Garstone in the end was pushed onto the footy. Just such a good kick that Garstone was able to control her access to the ball.
Yeah, good body work there to just hold her out to the right time to take that mark.
Plays on, long ball in, is marked on the line wonderfully by Marnie Elson. It was Sanders again on that far side. Sanders in the pink boots and Elson in the
greens.
Yeah, they look live, they look turquoise, but definitely green on screen. Georgie Cleavers just couldn't quite get through that ball. Annie Payne's able to cut it off. Annie Payne's kick, it's not something she would usually deliver. Gets the ball back again, hands inside. Valvasoro. That's to Gomes, and the intercept was Wong. Standing in front of the football is Dalton. Big spoil from two defenders there. Ball finds itself in the hands of Jess Lowe. Gave it to Sophie McDonald. Wanted to give and go. Sophie hadn't read the script.
I'd really like to see Sharks switch the footy and really challenge Claremont to move and defend, and I think Sharks are choosing the skinny option each time though at the moment.
Not a whole lot ahead of the ball either for the Sharks at the moment. They're going to have to spread hard if they win this ball from the stoppage, but they won't because it's in the hands of Goranova. Goranova over the back towards Gimanis. Gimanis leads in this race back. She turns inside. She's been good at this today. Little layoff kick's good to White. White marks it out in front of her face. Not much Elston could do. Brooke White, position A, smart footballer. She's played all over the ground in her career to date. Since arriving at Claremont, she's been a forward and a good one. Brooke White straight away. Tigers on the line, begun clapping. Lovely foot strike. She kicks it straight through. The Tigers have 6. Brooke White adds herself to the score sheet. Gimanis again, Paz.
Yeah, she's been terrific the whole game so far, actually, and not only creating play herself, but really selfless play as well, and just great vision in that forward line to give off to her players and acknowledge the open option.
Been very good at that today, the Tigers. They've looked to advantage their forwards.
I think that's something that Sharks maybe haven't been so good at, and like you said, once they look up, they need to have those options readily available for them, but at the moment probably a little bit up the ground.
Scanlon's got 2. Scanlon's got 1. Amber Wissink's got 2. A couple of taps from McLennan in the midfield. Brooke White's got 1. 2 to Tessa Gimanis. Working hard at the bottom of the pack here is Fidel.
Yeah, a bit of that in the back there.
Just carried forward in that tackle. A non-officiating umpire at the time has been able to pay that one. Shallow forward 50 entry. Goes over McDonald. Into the hands of Versace, who worked her opponent off the ball very well. Rosie Walsh has gone forward. Usually good in this situation. Playing on the very tough forward askew. In the hands now of the Tigers. Trying to tumble the ball forward was Metem. Tackling fiercely at the top of 50 now, the Sharks. Valentini to relieve some pressure. Sanders comes off her player. I like it when she does this. Steps inside with the momentum of the tackle. The ball goes long and deep, and it's a good mark. Down the back there from Metem. Metem's quick kick's okay. Finds Orm in some space. Confronted by Gomes. And Fidel kicks a beautiful ball for Goodwin-Wissink, who plays on immediately. She's got an outside runner in Bullers. Sorry, it's Kath Bennett. Can't quite control this footy. Georgie Cleaver defending hard. Bennett recovers and another tackle from Cleaver, and the Goodwissig loses her feet.
They've dragged it in there.
Maybe in trouble here from Rodokovic. It's Gabriella. High forward at the moment. Tackle turnover will please the coach. Little switch is attempting from Versace. Paris Laurie's called for the switch.
Good attempt. Just didn't quite make it.
97% of a switch. Just needed that extra couple. Interesting that Valentini comes up with a footy after Versace's been caught for holding the ball. Suggest Valentini might have that one pinned in there. Good play. On the far side now, Orm arches the shoulder, arches the back, pins the shoulder, pins the ears and the shoulder blades back, finds White, drops what she normally would take, gives it to Kate Bennett, who's running really well. Little short kick, unselfish towards Arnott. It's all 6s and 8s there for the Sharkies. Arnott just turns around the corner and she kicks herself a goal as well.
Very unselfish there by Kat Bennett and worked out in the end. It was good.
Just as soon as Arnott was able to turn her opponent, there was nothing those Sharkies could do down the deep there, and adds herself to the scoreboard. Arnott. Tigers unstoppable at the moment. 2 to Wissink. 1 to White. Germanis has 2. Scowling with 1. Arnott becomes the 5th goal kicker for Claremont, where the Sharks yet to get a snag.
Deservingly on the board for Arnott today. I think she's done some good work around the ground and gets herself a goal now, which is great to see.
It's always good to kick a goal. You're trying to measure your performance. I think her performance in terms of around the ground has been very solid too. There's an infringement from East Fremantle here for the 6-6-6. Now it's on the change. It was actually 5-6-5, I should say. East Fremantle have a warning. It was just an interchange. So Sprillian hadn't got on quick enough. Bullis comes crashing through the stoppage, loses the footy or leaves it behind, finds it again. Handballs forward. Trying to find a couple of different Sharkies. Valentini loses her feet. Attempt to get a free kick for in the back. Fell a little awkwardly in the end. Good tap by Cleaver. Fine young ruckman. Just low run down by Maddie Ross. Great pick up from Harley O'Donnell with Kat Bennett hanging out of her pocket. She rips Kat Bennett now off the footy.
And maybe just held on a little too long there.
Maybe Kath chose not to take that. Of course, her sister Emily generally playing alongside her. And a terrific 2 for Claremont today as Arnott takes a good mark going back with a flight of the ball. Fast ball in, finding Hayley Bullis, who rolls off her opponent straight away. Could walk in an open goal, but she doesn't. She laces Brooke White out. That is very unselfish play, and I reckon you said it before, Paris. They are absolutely looking to share the ball in the forward 50. It has to be something they're trying to do today. Lower the vision and get connected.
Yeah, it's really working for them, and I think something they didn't do last week was lower the eyes and hit up that leading target. They've blazed away a little bit, and it's doing wonders for them today. Good to see them change it in just 1 week.
Might be also recognising the people that love to kick goals and are good at it, standing in front of the circle. But this one, in the corridor, this one, of course, as you see on your screen, slips over to the far side and Brooke White blocked her copy sheet. One of the players, if you're a betting person, put a couple of bucks on her getting those sausages from there.
Yeah, it usually definitely back Brookie White in.
East Fremantle with a restart. Just assessing her options here. Ali O'Donnell, she's a good long kick. Couldn't quite get all of that one. In the hands of the Sharks for first use through Cleaver on the far side, I think. Versace, clever off the ground, has got a soccer background. Had some beautiful football here for East Fremantle over the last couple of years. Working hard at ground level. It's Fidel. Kakamo has to do a fair bit of work here. Ross steams in, knocks over her opponent, a little high on the shoulder. Tough call on Ross. I reckon she was playing the footy there, not the player.
Yeah, I think she just protected herself, and
she might have got away with one there. That was not directly back to the opponent. She said sorry, so there's no 50. Bennett, Versace. Versace just a little clumsy. Bennett plays on. Claremont have done this well today. Just rolled off their opponents. Arnott reaches over from the back. Enough from Alston to influence that. Working at ground level now too. Harley O'Donnell again. Been one of Sharks' best today. Shoved out of the pack there. Beautifully. Little tap back from Brooke White. Kath Bennett's kick. Brooke White again. In a battle this time. Sanders is happy to trap her in with the football. Receive the free kick. Clever from Sanders. Understood that Brookie dived on it. Just trapped it in. Sanders looking at the centre of the ground. Paris Laurie inhaled deeply as that ball goes to the top of 50. It's a good mark from Dalton. Did well there, and she would have been knowing that there was pressure coming. He looks for this switch. Doesn't quite get all of it. Orms in the way. She was actually looking for Gomes over the back. Not onto Ovasori. Knocked down after she handballed the ball. There was Ortlep. Handball give was good from Fidel to Goranova. They've gone from east to west here though. Now Kath Bennett just tucks under the arm. This time she's going to take a shot. She's a flying shot. And she's given herself one of those big chastising claps, so I assume it's through for a point. It's Kath Bennett. Love the way she attacked it though.
Yeah, she's really come along and is turning into a really good footballer.
A turn of pace. It's a little ability to accelerate when she hits the football. She's able to separate herself from her opponents. It's well read and well marked from McLennan. McLennan's getting a little stroppy with some attention she's getting in the air. I'm not sure anyone's being particularly hostile towards her. I just think they can't get up to where her hands are. She plays on well and finds a little hit in the corridor, which was terrific. Turns her back. Georgia Bet just allowing players to play forward. She finds a little one in the middle. Maddie Ross can't complete the mark, but she's on her feet, which is a good thing. Always a good play when she's running. Wong casting the role of centre half forward there. Plays the ball in front of her, out to Inglis Hodge. Inglis Hodge is really calm in this situation. Feeds the ball off. It hits Brown in the nose. She's still in this 4v1. Little bouncing ball around the place. Driving her legs well was Goranova. Intercepted by Wong. Ball in towards Walsh. She's with Fortescue. Fortescue's a tough character. Hard to beat in any situation.
Really good little shepherd there from Walton too.
Now we're at work here right in front of the Claremont coach's box, and the umpire will give us a restart. It was Fortescue that came off the Gold Coast product. Landed at Claremont early this year. A great addition to the Tigers' backline. Ricocheting around the pack. Good Wisnik eventually to Goranova. Something that Goranova's really worked on. She actually drove that pack forward. 3 tackles. She drove her legs in that stoppage. I think it's been a massive improvement in her game. Her ability to drive hard, as Versace does now too. Good little finger tackle from Bullis. Just enabled the second tackler to come in and hold her up. Sharks again trying to break away from these stoppages. They're but a first use to the Sharkies in the situation. Handball, instead of a kick there, keeps the Sharks in pressure. Good tackle from Ross. Umpire no choice with no pride than to ball it up. Starting to get into the ball. Aisha Razvi has influenced the game from the start, and overzealous with that tackle there. Jessie Lowe gets one on the shoulder. So Lowe looking for Payne. Goes further than her to Arnott. Arnott lets it sit at the back and let Payne run onto it. Payne might have got a finger to it. No. It's last possession. Untouched. Clever little kick. Quite work out. Great thinking. Sharky's a little stagnant. Leads are coming at the foot now. Called to play on Gomes. Interesting from Valvasora. It worked. Couldn't really take possession before she was tackled. And Versace and a couple of little foot taps just to get that over the line.
Yeah, very smart there.
She was a quality soccer player from all reports. Very highly skilled. Pretty clear that she was good at sport before she came to footy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty good at this game. Over the back with another good throw from the boundary umpire. Ball bouncing around now. Some fatigued players. Tackled by Bullis. It's hard to break the Bullis tackles. It was Georgia Bet up from Rogers Cup. Good young player, high skill. Jessica Lowe puts her reverse beepers on. She tries to come out just as she does break through. The umpire calls for a ball up. McLennan, good jump. Goodwin Wisnik stayed down. Very professionally kept that tucked in. Try not to loose any ball into the corridor. It's become a bit of a volleyball or a bit of a shootout here. East Fremantle on one side, Claremont on the other. East Fremantle backfeed's good. Gomes from Inglis Hodge. Dalton's showed some great signs today with a hit-up leading and a contested marking. Problem is, we need another Dalton down at the other end of this kick. It's Rosie Walsh. It should suit Rosie. It gets over the back. Fortescue, tough character. Wong, lovely tap. Rosie Walsh finds it in her own hands. Can she release the footy? It's a very good tackle from Madam, and it's a goal-saving tackle. And she's rewarded with a freebie. Some of the Claremont fans getting a little agitated.
They are. I think if Sharks can lock it in here, hopefully they can get another opportunity.
Well done, little turnover. Great intercept from Sprillian. And Sprillian made her living initially at South Fremantle as a goal-scoring small forward. Charlie Cameron style. She's a very good set shot. She's quite a professional footballer too. And using the midfield and as a high half forward at the Sharks, and she's done it very effectively. Came to this season really fit. It's a good ball strike. Sharkies on the line just start clapping on the way in. That is a wonderful kick from Sprillian. And finally, they're on the board. The Sharks through Cara Sprillian's clever intercept work. Great setup behind the ball, Paris, from her.
Yeah, terrific work there, and I think that's what Sharks really need to do. As long as they can just, once they get it into their 50, make sure they hold it in there and try and tire out the Claremont backs a little bit. They're doing very well under pressure, but I think if it's tirelessly coming in there, it'll put them under the pump a bit, and Sharks can then open up the game a bit for themselves.
Cara Springling gets a reward for a hard-working game. There's a couple of Sharkies that are actually winning their positions. Just the connections at the issue at the moment. Some length in the game. I think Dalton changed things there, didn't she?
Yeah, a few more strong marks and they'll be on the comeback.
Young golden retriever getting a special treat from her trainer below us. McLennan. Lovely ruck. She's really rucking unchanged at the moment too. She's had shouldered a huge load. Bullis with the extraction. Good run down tackle in the end from Fidel. Alston in this time is able to take a nice intercept mark in front of Kath or over Kath Bennett's shoulder. Kick just a little slow to get to Inglis Hodge, but she's good enough to hold her position. I don't like the look of Orme as she gets it up behind the play. Kakamo hits the ball really well just as a siren sounds to end the third quarter. Well, good signs from the Sharkies just towards the end of that quarter. Started to win some of the ball, half the quarter in itself. A couple of goals kicked there. But, obviously, the Sharks still lead. That's 46. It's 7 goals for 46 to 1 goal, 1-7. Plenty to do, Paris Laurie, for the Sharks. What can they get out of the last couple of minutes or last quarter of this game?
Yeah, I think we said before that they've looked like they've got a few young players in there that can probably run out the game. Maybe if they can run out the game a little better than Claremont, it'll really open it up for them. I think this fourth quarter we'll see a lot of space on the ground, being the heat and the fourth quarter of the game. I think defence gets a little tired and it starts to really open up. So hopefully Sharks can take advantage of that and do what they did in that last end of that third quarter there, and a few strong marks just to really slow it down and allow them to get a couple of free kicks instead of being under that pressure the whole time.
We've got a great wrap-up from Paris Laurie there. We'll have some more. We'll have another great wrap-up from Paris after the break. Quarter brought to us by Simply Energy. Going to tuck away now. We'll give Paris a drink of water and ask her a couple of questions when we get back. Three-quarter time here. East Fremantle versus the Tigers. New Choice Homes Park with front row screens. Optus Women's.
Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple. Sometimes it's easy to just go with who you know. So here's what you need to know about Simply Energy. We're proud supporters of WA Footy. You can get 50% off our gas usage charges when you pay on time, and with service that's hard to beat, we make switching simple.
Welcome back to East Fremantle Oval as we see Jenna Alholmes just put the midfield of the Sharks through their paces. Engaging Glennon. Got a few ideas about what things going on too. Wonderful to be able to get feedback. We've got Wes Moran too. He's talking to what looks to be the front end at Claremont, who really have dominated this game of football, particularly from half forward perspective with Germanis getting off the chain. Although midfield group started to get work. East Fremantle worked into the game throughout that quarter, and they did it by attacking the footy. I reckon Dalton changed things a little bit. There's a couple of exciting things that they can do, and I just wonder if we can get enough ball through the corridor for them to be able to get that done. You've called for a couple of switches. Have you? Is that what you're coaching East Fremantle right now? Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, I think so. Underdogs, and what have we got to lose? So I think in this case it's take risks.
Yeah, we got it going now. So we're just going to ask that question of Paris again. Not quite mic'd up. I like what you said. I'll give you the opportunity to say that again, but this time with our microphones on.
Yeah, so I think the coach is probably thinking that with the score line the way that it is, I think it's time to take risks. So go through the corridor, switch the footy, play on when we can, and just go out there and know that, you know, nothing to lose in this last quarter. Just really need to take it to Claremont. But like I said, put it on the line and try and get some scores on the board for them and put Claremont really under the pump. So I think it'll be good to see the girls come out here now and just take the game on.
Who surprised you today in terms of how well they've performed? Is there anyone from either side that you can tick off? Yep, that's a great performance today.
Probably Tessa Germanis. I saw her play last week and she surprised me and impressed me last week. But I think just her composure and her selflessness to hit other girls in the forward line and do it really well as well, deliver the footy really well. I haven't seen too much of Tessa, but she looks to be improving quickly and, yeah, really doing well today.
Brilliant. Here's a question for you. Without notice, of course, what do you see as the biggest improvement between the two WAFLW seasons last year and this year? I know it's WAFLW 3, but just talk about the changes that you've noticed.
Yeah, I think it's definitely skill level. I think we can see more hit-up plays, and the way that they move the footy on the ground is a lot better now. And I think, you know, even just scoring opportunities, I think when we get it into our inside 30s, often teams are able to get something from it, whereas in the past, I think you really needed that deep entry, and sometimes it was luck of the draw to get a score and that sort of thing. But I think now the quality has really shot up, and yeah, just the skill level and ability to deliver to one another.
What's the next thing that needs to happen in women's footy in the WAFLW to keep going? What's the next skill area you're targeting?
Oh, I'd probably maybe say the structure or the ability to know when to play on and when to you know, go slow and that sort of thing. Maybe the education around it.
Brilliant. McLennan again with the first tap against Sophie McDonald. Straight into what we've seen a lot of today, which is a repeat stoppage. So being able to know when to strike. Is that what you're saying, Paris?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I love the improvements in the handball receive. I like the contested marking. Good back feed to Orm. Orm finds space. It will be a designated plan for Tigers to hit about here. Sanders leads the foot race with Garstone. Had a work cut off Sanders, but had a good day today. Like wonderful speed, sort of flying in there. Amazing to be able to get a kick on that. Young Rusby. She dropped it with one hand and kicked it with the other foot, and she got a little push in the back. The non-officiating umpire has called for that. And Fremantle Sharks fans starting to get a little agitated, not educated. Fist in there was good from McLennan. Wallace beat Sophie McDonald for the footy. Same team. Lifts the ball up inside forward 50. And it's covered off neatly in defence. Georgie Cleaver. Pops a kick towards McLennan again. Jessica Lowe trying to get through. Eventually lets that ball go. Umpire blind-sided. Jacinta Valentini does a pretty good job with a difficult handball. Long to Germanis, reading the ball well. Cleaver again. Pass 2 from the tall defender to recover. Gomes skipper comes in to help. She's wrapped up into the arms of the Claremont defender, or the Claremont forward turn defender in Germanison. I've always wondered how the ball would actually come out if you tap the ball into your own body. Wonderful work from Gomesy just to force the ball up there. Sharon Wong around the corner. Andy Payne with Madeline Ross doing some blocking off the footy. Gomesy didn't quite get there in time. Little kick is okay. Fumbled in the end. Bullis is running into open goal. She gets this over the back to Brooke White, and Brooke White will just tick it over the fence. Lovely work. Long ball in. Sharks really defending high. Just got caught out the back there with a good kick in. And the resultant goal to Brooke White, and she gets her second.
Yeah, I think maybe a little confusion whether that was a mark or not. The girl seemed to stop for a second, and then it was play on. So well done to Claremont to play on quickly and get that handball off. I think unlucky to Sharks thinking that may have been a mark.
Number of players now kicked 2 goals for the Tigers. Was it Andy Payne with a slips catch out there?
Slips catch.
Was it Garstone?
I think it might have been Andy Payne.
Good little handball in anyway. Long ball from a couple of different players was clever, and Brooke White was able to get one from the kick-off line. 8 goals for 52. 1-1-7, 15 minutes to play. See some attacking play from the Sharks. Georgie Cleaver, great to see her in the ruck. Wong loses it out the back, and in the end is done for a throw. She's got her feet in the wrong place there, Wong. Trying to feed Fidel. She's been good today. Bullis, lovely little connection with McDonald. McDonald has a spin on the spot and opens up the ground to Andy Payne. Coming up to meet her is Alston. Difficult play to beat in this situation, Payne. Good tackle. Picking up the ball here is Georgie Cleaver. The ruckman's work really well back into defence. Kick slides off the outside of the boot and doesn't quite reach Maddie Ross. You won't get Maddie Ross to go get the ball for you in many games.
Lasso in Claremont's favour.
Yeah, I like that in the AFLW, don't they, the commentators? Lasso call, just slow, one hand, controls the ball really well. Pressure came from Wong. Gomes, my apology. Pulled off the footy now too. No prior. That is Marnie Elston in the hands of Adele Arnott. Far side of the ground. Wind is actually tipping that way. It's been pretty consistent but quite low here for Fremantle. We played different games here when the wind is so strong the goalposts are all wobbling. This is actually perfect conditions.
Adele Arnott up in the ruck now. She's got a bit of a leap on her. I like seeing her in there.
A little bit of cheek too. Ruckman always need a bit of a leap and a bit of a cheek. He's got plenty of both. Kick's okay. Not sure it was intended for that particular player there. Bounced off her chest. Flying in with a fist and missing. Picked up beautifully though in the end. His roll. Tangle the bodies. Bit of friendly fire from the producer's box. Andy Payne trying to drive some energy into this game. Pulls around the corner and that's gone over the line without being touched as well. Just in a real holding pattern at the moment. Paris?
Yeah, stoppage after stoppage, which for Claremont that's fine. They'd be happy to have that happen, but for Sharks they really need to get it out to their outside runners and get down their end.
Georgie Cleaver, that's a good catch. Basketballer by trade. Handball release is good. She's been playing footy for a long time, of course, too. Ashley Gomes trying to find Dalton. Instead in the hands of the Claremont defenders who pump the ball back forward. Good spot from Inglis Hodge. Intercept marking's been good across the last couple of years. She fumbles this one. Still gets a couple of touches. Gets the ball out to defensive space. Asking a lot of Dalton here. 1-on-1. Cavalry arrives. Flicked out the back towards Wong. Picked up though instead by the Tigers, the youngster there in Rusby.
Yeah, maybe taken high there.
The ball looking in the end was Mettams and handing a little free kick over to, could be Nadia Brown. She plays on quickly. Looking for a laneway runner. She's trapped in, hemmed in now. Gets her kickaways okay. Plenty of Claremont ahead of the footy though. Wong, good enough to get this through the pack. She's under immense pressure again from Rusby.
I like the idea from Sharks. Play on, try and get the ball moving quickly.
He called for that at three-quarter time. Definitely need some fast play. Rusby's been good today. Uses a little yard of pace that she keeps up her sleeve, and she's used it well to both defend and attack. McLennan is able to complete the catch. It's something that she's improved this year. So marking around the ground, plays on quickly. Not afraid to run with the ball too, which is always terrific in terms of taking some grass off the opposition. Back feed's all right to Fortescue. She finds some open space. Gomes is first to recover. Little kick's okay to Ross. Madeline Ross. Haven't seen her tearing up and down the wing today. We've enjoyed so much over the last couple of years. She lifts the ball towards the top of the 50, but no representation there from the Sharkies. And Sasha Guerinova is able to take a chest mark and change direction of the play. Holly O'Donnell worked really well to get Brooke White under the footy. Finds a laneway runner in a ruckman in Cleaver. Ball's okay over the back, but just a little shove. Maybe Ross won't be able to do what she was planning to do there, which was have 7 bounces, I think, and kick a goal. Jessica Lowe called to play on. Does so. Ross comes in from the side and attacks her. Both those players are going to have a bruise from that little contest. Ripped off the footy and called for holding the ball there.
Well done by Amber Wissick to hold on there. She had her by the shirt and held it.
A strong player, Amber. Usually a very good kick too. Wasn't what she was planning, but it's going to work. Garstone's looking for a laneway runner again. She finds one, except she said it's Versace. Brooke White was intended. Garstone goes back and gets it. Tumbles the ball forward to Bullis. Bullis handles the ball really well, turns inside on the right and misses. Nice play. One touch footy there from Haley Bullis.
Maybe trying to share it a bit too much around there, Claremont. They tried to share it with the Sharks.
Honoured Versace's lead. Just didn't realise that she was from the oppo. Sarah Garstone. Sanders, good to see, play on, have a bounce. Steps inside, Goodwin Wissink. She's now got the corridor. I think you've read the game really well. Paris Laurie. Each Fremantle are attacking the corridor and playing on. Here she goes again, Sanders. Have a second try. Splits a couple of different tackles. Met really strongly. Sanders wore that really, really well from Guerinova. 2 strong players. Nakamo can't complete the mark, but battles Manfleet on the ground, or Humanfleet on the ground. Versace comes cutting through. Wong, she's done for a throw. Just as each round looked like they were going to break away.
Very unfortunate. They were looking good there.
Just such intensity there, the Sharks. Unfortunately, Sanders' play with a turnover has left a couple of players ahead. Amber Goodwood-Wissick drops his mark. Gomes, he's gone back to help out in defence. And has dropped the footy in the tackle. And it's going to be a shot to Goodwin-Wissick. Such good work from Sanders to get up and work and outwork the opposition. The opposition stayed still, so when the turnover came, there was numbers behind the ball. Numbers in front of the ball for the Tigers and not enough numbers behind the ball from the Sharks. Aggressive play.
Yeah, just needed a few more runners for Sharks to have a couple more options and get those handballs to break that line.
Goodwin-Wissink kicking at her third, and that's what I was expecting when she kicked her first, was get muscled up and go the Hulk, and she's got 3.
Everyone's got their own individual celebration, don't they?
That's the one I've been looking for. It's a bit of a cross between sort of Wonder Woman and the Hulk. So super strong Wonder Woman, gets the wrist crossed, gets the squat going. Love it. Checking out of the game, Sophie McDonald with the blood rule. If she's bleeding at all, it might be from a paper cut, because she doesn't look in any distress at all. The warm flannel to her index finger. Amber Goodwin with 3. Sharks now 9-5, 59. East Fremantle 7 points. 7:25 to play. This game, of course, closes out round 8. Quarter brought to you by West Coast Eagles, of course. Giving us more than just sponsorship of the quarter. They've given us their ruckman sitting in special comments today, Paris Laurie.
Amber Goodwin-Wissick, after that goal, has just moved into the ruck.
And she's breaking forward hard, like she's not in the ruck. Definitely not setting up behind the ball. Ball into Bullis is a little bit too much on it. Inglis Hodge did enough to just to scare off the footy a little. Coming in and trying to lend a hand is Georgia Bett.
Held on a little long in that tackle. Bullis free kick.
Haley Bullis just providing a little bit of stress for opposition at the moment, because her run has been relentless today. She finds Garstone, who's been everywhere. Hasn't been able to finish one, but this is all set up for sausage time. Well, Sarah Garstone, she hits it on the ankle and gets it shallow, and she could have had a half dozen today. She's been really good, Sarah Garstone. Hopefully that she doesn't, when players miss, you don't want them to throw away the fact that they had that many shots.
No, I think she should be happy with the amount of opportunities, and she's just been a really good option for them all day.
Been dangerous. I think she's caused so much problems from trying to cover her that other players have got off the chain. Haven't seen Scanlon for a little while. Maybe she's on ice. She's down on the bench in front of us. Jess Lowe getting some attention too in the ambulance crew. Meanwhile, in the hands of Georgia Bett, promising young player. Kick to Dalton. Can't finish the work this time. Still in a dangerous position for the Sharks, with the Tigers very close to goal.
Strong in the contest though, Dalton. It was good.
Yeah, she's exactly the type of player that you want to represent you in head of the ball. That's for sure. Doesn't leave any stone unturned. Kick's okay. Through the hands of Prentice at the back. Attempted handball's cut off by Bennett. Wonderful work. She's not going to be able to do enough with this footy though to bring it back to score. She kicked it out of bounds in the full. Just every now and again she's got a step, hasn't she?
Did well to make her way through that contest there. Very quick first couple of steps.
Prentice just returning the favour. After Garstone tried to find Versace, she tried to find Kat Bennett. Marnie Elston just lifts the ball up towards the boundary line. McLennan comes through. He had a tug on the ponytail. Clip on the ear and a tug on the ponytail, and she got the result in a free kick. Long kick. Should get over the back to Wong. She can't finish that. It's tough once all those numbers there. Just hacked off the ground. It was clever play by the Sharks. Leading back. A number of players have been good today for the Tigers. Valvasori's in there. Valentini.
Something that could really catch out Claremont would be a few knock-ons and kick-ons from Sharks to just get that footy moving, because it does seem like the defenders are taking their time to get back at the moment.
Maybe sweating on getting a kick now, the Tigers' backs. Wallace, back feet to Fortescue. Fortescue just puts the foot down to the floor every time she gets the ball. Gets this, was a very dangerous ball in front of her. Arnott rolls over the line before she can gather. Claremont now backfilling these spots, making it very hard for Fremantle. The short one's very clever kick and well taken by Kakamo. She goes down the line. McLennan sits under this. She's outmarked in this occasion. A good Wisink, who's still enjoying a bit of a stint in the ruck. Well, Sophie McDonald gets a band-aid on that finger. Gee, working hard there's Arnott. Received a block in the end. I don't think it had any impact on the play. Arnott was well under the football. Ball in. Clean bowls Haley O'Donnell. Heading back there, Sanders. Sanders just sweats on her opponent. It's Garstone, a little bit of a headlock. Garstone's trying to point the arm that was still there, but it wasn't there initially. Sanders' kick is going to be chopped off though. There's any number of players that get in the end. Kate Orm's taking a little mark in her fingers.
Looked like Brookie White was well called out of that just then. So well done to Kate Orm for communicating that.
Probably much better for your health if Brooke White doesn't run into you as well.
Absolutely.
Particularly if you're a more diminutive winger.
Kate Orm last week had a set shot, similar position, kicked it straight through. Very process driven and quite robotic when it comes to set shots.
So we're going to ride this robotic set shot kick. That was your teammate, Kate Orm, not me. This ball's a long ball in. It's well called by Paris Lowry because it was a wonderful kick. It was absolutely as you described. It's like you've seen it before.
Doesn't often miss in set shots and just recently had a few, and yeah, very, she reckons she goes through the process in her head and is in the zone for each one.
That's a very good way to be, particularly if you're going to find the ball 40 metres out in your own forward line. Did become an AFLW goal kicker against Richmond. What an honour. It's not something I imagine that she thought she'd be doing 5 years ago.
No, absolutely not. Working in the industry and now playing.
Of course, one of the managers of the Eagles media and social media. Hard-working, professional person.
Yeah, very good captions on West Coast Eagles socials.
McLennan rucked well all day today. Imagine the coach is going to be mentioning her tonight as a player that fought against a very, very determined Claremont side. It's Fortescue forcing that to Lowe. Lowe gets it towards 50. Lowe's been checked out and cleared by the paramedics. The shoulder, I think, was in a clash with Maddie Ross. Versace trying to develop something here. Georgie Cleaver there as well. In the screen to Fidel. I've liked Fidel today. A couple of really good things here and there. Clennon again. Best on ground for the Sharkies. Tommy tearing through. Is Fortescue. Long ball in, still a little shallow, a little skinny. Trying to rip it down out of the air there with his Tigers forwards. Go to work on the ground. Germanis. Did she take that footy? No, she didn't. Very clever. These Fremantle players might feel they're a little hard done by, but she decided just to paddle it in front of her rather than take possession. And she was tugged on the jumper. Now, as a left footer, she thinks herself through this pocket very, very well. Sort of get one in the first quarter from here. She was a little closer to goal. I imagine she'll play on around and... No, she lays it up to Brooke White. Drops the catch in the goal square. And what are O'Donnell trying to get herself out of there. It's a good kick. Sanders clear. Sorry, it's Elston clears. There's the siren to end the game. Led from start to finish the Sharks. Sorry, led from start to finish the Tigers. The Sharks really didn't get their game going at any stage. A very tough day at the office for the Blue and the Whites here at home. And I think the Tigers will be well pleased with a couple of things that happened today. And one of those, Paris Laurie, was how well the forwards used the ball with each other.
Yeah, I think they got their first goal pretty quick, and then from there they just hit the ground running. They didn't stop for 4 quarters, and unfortunately Sharks just never really looked like coming back. No,
they didn't. Just, I guess you can only play as well as the opposition let you, and Claremont really didn't let East Fremantle at any stage have the corridor. Sprillian, the sole goal kicker for the Sharks, from a very, very neat set shot in the third quarter. Good Wissink with 3, White with 2, Germanis with 2, Scanlon with 1 and Arnott with 1. I guess the only thing from here is, I guess in terms of the wrap-up, Paris, is how it turns for next week. So we're heading with Claremont now. What are we asking for, I guess? How are you going to what are you talking about now with Claremont as a game? Let's wrap that game up for them. What's next week?
Yeah, I think for the most part you can really only talk about Claremont's positives there. They shared the footy around and delivered it really well to their teammates today. Looked really dangerous moving the forward from back line to forward line and always looking for that switch. You could see even when they chose to go down the line, they still always had a look to see if that switch was on. It was really good to look to see if they could use that fat side, and knew that they could sort of catch the Sharks off guard if they could get it over that side. But going into next week, I think they'll be just looking to do a pretty similar job that they did this week, and hopefully that depending on the team that they come up against and what they can shut down on their end. But if they can perform this way again next week, I'm sure they'll do all right.
They've got a big challenge next week too, of course, Claremont. They go up against Peel Thunder at home. It's 12:40 p.m, so it's another day like today. It's going to be hard working. I think they'll be on show there in between the league and the reserves out at Peel Thunder's ground. They're going great guns at the moment as we're just in the huddle with both teams, just congratulating each other, and a lot of good mates in there, a lot of mates that have played in the same clubs, a lot of mates that have played representative football together, so it's nice to see that still happens in the female game. I think I say that every single week, but I really do like the way players acknowledge each other. Reminds me of a politer day.
It is good. I mean, like you said, often you are playing against your good mates and girls that you've played a lot of footy with, so I think while there might be a little bit of white line fever, when that siren goes, you're back to being mates again. So
it is a wonderful community to be a part of too, the female football community. So the same question for you about East Fremantle, I guess. Let's have a chat about what East Fremantle try to get out of this game. They've got a game next week against Subiaco. East Fremantle would think that was winnable. Subiaco would also think it's winnable. What are you thinking if you're East Fremantle?
I think they definitely had some passages of play where they had some strong marks and they were able to hit up play. But like I said, I think if they can switch the footy and open it up, I know that they tried a couple of times, but if they can deliver that a little better and open up the ground, they've got the run to do it and they've got the aggression. I think it's just about the delivery that they do it and whether they can actually get it done. but definitely don't have their heads down for next week. That's definitely a winnable game, and I think it'll be a pretty decent fight between the two teams next week.
Yeah, that should be almost match of the round. Next week, of course, the Swans play South Fremantle, Claremont, Peel Thunder. Actually, that's probably going to be a beauty too. Both sides get their kids back next week after their 19th duty, so that should be one to watch. Looks like we're gathering towards the song here for the Tigers. Wonderful rendition from a side that was good from start to finish today. The Claremont Footy Club with an emphatic win, the second in a row after they dealt with South Fremantle last week. It's been great to spend some time with you, Paris Laurie. I haven't seen you for a little while. You've been very busy with your AFL duties. Great call today, and nice to be with you. I think it is our intent to keep you coming each week.
I guess, yeah, unless I get the boot. But it's good to see the different matches that are occurring around and the quality that's coming through, and the girls that are really going to test me for my spot very shortly, I'm sure. But I'm excited for next week to see the under-19s girls come back. I think they'll really bring something to each game.
I think they'll come back with a bit of energy too after being freshened up. They've had a week off on the way in, they've had a week off on the way out. I think they can go into the back half of the competition with some real energy. They can join their AFLW players as they return from Fremantle and West Coast. Here at East Fremantle Oval today, it's 59-point winners, the Tigers. For Front Row Screens, thanks very much to the blokes in the truck, as always, keeping us on the straight and narrow. Paris Laurie, of course, wonderful job from you. We'll see you next week when we're given our stream to deal with. It's been wonderful to speak to you. Thanks to all of our sponsors. But especially thanks for Front Row Screens for being able to put it all on.
This WAFLW live stream is brought to you by Optus, proud partner of the WAFL and WAFLW. The West Coast Eagles, supporting WA female footballers to follow their dreams. Kia, proud partner of the WAFLW. This is Kia. Simply Energy, supporting WA Footy's talent pathway.